Hello, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. All of you moms and all your daughters, I hope that you are having a good day and you are growing through today. And I'm sorry that we have to meet this way, but I just know that through all things that are difficult, we get something good. So what I really want to cover today is a couple things. I'd like to cover this book called The Mindset. Let's see, here we go. Sorry, my Zoom filter is not quite working the way that I want it to work. But anyway, I think you got the title. So it's called Mindset, the New Psychology of Success, and it's by Carol S. Dweck, PhD. Here we go. The reason why that this book is so important to me is because it really pointed out the difference between having a growth mindset and having a mindset that's stuck, like stuck in the way things should be, stuck in the way you think should be. Or, for example, you won't even try to do something new because you're so afraid that it might not work or you might not do it as well. That's kind of a stuck mindset. Have you ever been nervous, as a mom, as an adult to make your first Thanksgiving dinner, Christmas dinner, to have people over? This is the holiday season when I'm recording this right now. In fact, it's December 11th, 2023. And one idea of how you have a stuck mindset is maybe you don't even want to try to cook. You don't want to try to cook the Thanksgiving dinner or the Christmas dinner or the New Year's Eve dinner because you're afraid that somebody's going to make fun of you or say they wouldn't make that apple pie that way or they wouldn't do that turkey that way. Well, we all have to start somewhere. And this book talks a lot about starting somewhere, starting to learn and being, we're all going to fail. We don't just come out of the womb knowing how to read, knowing how to cook a Thanksgiving, Christmas dinner. We don't come out of the womb knowing how to write, how to play piano. We have to try, we have to begin, we have to start. And with the mindset book, it basically explains to you how if you have a growth mindset, you are going to, like, for example, start playing the piano by practicing. Now, day one, you're not going to be that great. Day 5, you're going to be better than day 1. Well, the first year, you might not be that great, but the second year, you're going to be better than the first year. So it's more about looking back and saying, I did this well. I'm going to continue to learn and continue to go forward. And having a set mindset will also put us in a position where when we're in our own carnal world or our own personal world, we know exactly what we want. We know exactly what our expectations are. And if we can't get it, sometimes with just whatever process we're going through, whether we're designing a room, learning how to prepare meals for ourselves, or just be alone on our own, we'll be like, how do I learn how to just be on my own and being okay with where I'm at, where I'm on my own? And that is a learning mindset. Also, culturally, a learning mindset would just be to learn. I mean, when you have a new employee, they're learning and they're trying to understand the process of a company. And so always keeping your mind on a learning mindset. And remember, we were created to learn. If we weren't created to learn, I don't know that we'd be born a baby and we'd have to learn how to crawl, learn how to walk. We'd be born already 30 years old, knowing how to do most everything and making most of our mistakes in the first 30 years of our life. So I really want you guys to kind of consider maybe picking that book up and doing some journaling, maybe figuring out, maybe did you have a set mindset for your mom? Did you have a set mindset for your daughter? Did you have a set mindset for yourself? And then taking that and really trying to what can I learn from this? Coming from a place of, instead of this is how it needs to be, to what can I learn in this moment? The other book that's really important for having a learned mindset versus a set mindset is knowing how to experience your own body and how your own body feels when you fail. When your own body doesn't get things done exactly set the way you want it to be, your body will respond from a stored pain, a stored trauma, or maybe a stored failure, even if it's not a trauma, even if it's not um, a pain, it might be just like when you failed in the past, what was stored in your body that your body remembers from that moment. And this book is called The Body Keeps the Score. This is an excellent book with explaining to you how your body will respond to emotions. And this is Bessel van der Kolk, MD. So this book is very good. For example, if you are standing erect, it'll talk to you about in one of the chapters, if you're standing erect and you think about something that you really loved, you're going to move closer towards it. Your body will actually lean towards the yes, lean towards the truth. If your body didn't like anything, it's going to pull back a little bit. So when you think about a really good moment, you can kind of move in and you move in close. But, if you move away, maybe there's something that you don't want to have anything to do with, or it makes no sense. So if you use some of the ideas from this book and you actually pick up an emotion and organ chart, you're going to see that some of these emotions you carried during maybe your set mindset where you weren't trying to learn from the situation and become more aware of how other people were feeling, or maybe how you were making other people feel if you were creating a safe environment, or if you were creating an environment that even you'd want to get away from. So these emotions, for example, like intolerance, disdain, scorn, pride, those are more emotions you will find on an emotional chart that would affect your lungs and your large intestines. So for example, there might have been a situation that you have in your mind that happened recently, and it created like a set mindset where you had all this pride where how things should be. Like you've heard people say, well, I've never, they're like, I have never, you've heard that. That's kind of a prideful response to a situation where you don't want to have anything to do with it because you would not do that. So think about lungs. So if pride affects lungs, you'd be kind of like, well, I never. See how that air kind of comes out? So the word pride will connect to a body part. Also, the word pride connects to large intestines. And have you ever seen somebody say, I don't know, maybe you were with a coach or with your, big sister. I had a big auntie that took care of me, or you might be with a big brother, or maybe your church lady grandma, or maybe your coach who wanted you to, throw your baseball a certain way. You had to step forward with that foot before you ever threw that baseball. And if he didn't get his way, he was just so mad. And then somebody later said, oh, don't worry, they just have a stick up there. Beep. Okay. Large intestines goes with the word pride. So if your coach was prideful, if somebody taking care of you was prideful, and they kind of berated you, it was their pride that landed on you. So think about the lungs, meaning like hot air, like, oh, I never, or telling somebody, boy, he's full of hot air. She's full of hot air. That's a lung response to the emotion pride. Or, wow, that person's really got a stick stuck up there. Beep. Large intestines, pride. So an emotional chart and an organ will show you what emotions you are feeling. And if you take the mindset and you're trying to learn, and then you couple it with the ideas in the book, The Body Keeps the Score, how do I know? Am I feeling pride? Was this a pride that I'm feeling right now? And if I was feeling that pride, when did I feel that pride again? Now there's a healthy pride where, you're proud of your child doing a good job. I know a child that was at a football game. They were supposed to stay in the football game, but all their friends went outside, and they just felt like they shouldn't even go outside because they remembered their inner voice saying to them, "Don't go out there." And when their friends were in the parking lot, they got themselves in trouble that landed them in jail. And also some people were arrested and went to the hospital. And this child remembered that was a good moment. That was a good moment to make a good choice. That's a good time when pride is. So even pride has a virtue, a good virtue. But when pride goes to the right or to the left, like you will have a vice. So to understand, let's say if pride is the emotion that coming inside of me, and that pride is harming my relationships, harming me. The way that I can kind of know if it's pride is there's a couple ways, but this is a simple way. Just stand erect and just say, was I feeling pride in that moment? And you will feel like a little forward if it's yes. If it's not pride, you're going to be like, no, it's not pride. Your body is going to tell you what you're actually feeling. And then when we get through these different emotions, for example, in the emotion of unforgiveness, abandonment, betrayal, forlorn, I'm just reading a few in a category. That's going to affect your heart and your small intestines, your spleen and your stomach, pensiveness, anxiety, worry, despair, nervousness. Your body wants to be set free. Your body needs help. Your body's saying, stop, have a learning mindset. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Let's come together. I'm doing the best I can, but I want to help you today and in the future, but you need to take care of the past. Then we have the liver and the gallbladder. We're looking at stress, frustration, explosiveness. Kidney and the bladder would be like blaming, dread, some of your insecurities sexually, your indecisions sexually, just horror, restlessness, that would be in the kidney and the bladder. Then we also have the triple burner in the heart, humiliation, lust, longing, overwhelmed. So if any of these emotions, which we all can have, this is part of being human. If those erupt, you can take a book like this and study it and journal it and try to find when back when you were younger, did you experience like creative insecurity? When was the last time you experienced creative insecurity? So the word creative insecurity, I move forward because I've dealt with creative insecurity. So for example, even writing this book on estrangement and trying to help each other be good to our daughters and our mothers so that maybe when we actually get a chance to reconcile, we're going to be able to have a growth mindset. So I could have creative insecurity of making the book, making the videos. It's something that I know my body has. So I actually moved a little bit forward. But when I remember, when was the first time that I had creative insecurity? And I remember in the 7th grade, I wrote a sentence. Well, I wrote more than a sentence. I wrote a paragraph. And my 7th grade teacher, in front of all my friends in high school, in 7th grade, junior high, junior high, we are squirrely, squirrely, squirrely. I used to substitute junior high. Junior high was exhausting. Kids were like jumping, bean like bean sprouts, like boop, 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 boop. They're just everywhere. Well, when I wrote my paragraph, my friends liked it. But when I showed it to my teacher, so in my friendship culture, my paragraph was great. My sentence was funny. It was accepted in that culture. But then when I went to the teacher had her culture of trying to allow students to go up to the next grade and the next grade and to be prepared. And so when she read my sentence, she said out loud for everyone to hear in my culture, which was my classroom, and this was way before Botox. So if I frown, this is my frown. I've got a little Botox. Well, she didn't have Botox. So I got the full on frown and the loud, malicious sound of degrading my, what I had created. And she just told me, and she told the whole class that I was not seventh grade material. So if my body hadn't been healed from that time, but when I think about my insecurities, when I think about something I created, you write a book and you get a bad review. Well, there's going to be people that aren't going to like your book. There's going to be people that love your book. Well, I remembered those insecurities from the seventh grade welled up in my body. And I'm like, oh, so I have to remember I was seventh grade. I was learning. I fit into my culture of my friendship, but to do the culture of the teacher was different. And obviously, I overcome come writing like a grade school child as an adult because now I have a master's. I had to write many papers. Throughout college, I had to write papers. I've written different books that are online. And so I've been able to overcome that creative insecurity. And the way I did it was through learning just how to put things together to communicate to other people. So it was effective and it was clear and it was kind and it was direct, even if it was very personal. So I would just really hope that you will pick up I encourage you to pick up the book, the mindset book, and the book, Body Keeps the Score. Grab yourself online, download either from our book that I have that you are looking at, or grab an emotional chart and just start looking at when you have something that goes on. Look at that emotional chart, stand in the mirror, go over some of those emotions, and when you say the words of like blaming, of insecurity, of pride, if your body falls forward, that's the emotion that maybe you need to take a little bit of time and realize that you can learn from this emotion. You can get better. You can tell your seventh grade self, you did a great job. You did the best you could, and now you know a little bit more. You're smarter today. You've had more experiences today as when you're in the seventh grade, and now you can go ahead and you can continue to try. And later, you might write something even better. You might do something even better. Get practice at this is called practice at doing things that you failed before. If you're set in your mind, you won't even try. You won't even practice where you failed before. And part of the reason why we're estranged is we got stuck. We got stuck in a set mindset. We had emotions from the past that made us be fearful for our daughters that they would be stuck in a situation we never wanted them to be stuck in. Or we had fear that our moms were stuck in a situation we didn't think they should be in. But it's a learning, we were given each other to learn. And in a society today where everybody seems to be pushing somebody out of the way, um, or putting them down or not wanting to talk to them because of hurt and pain. Perhaps it also might be time to learn how to grow through that, to learn through that. Of course, always physically keep yourself protected, keep yourself at a distance if you need to physically. Go with a safe person. If you do any type of conversation with anybody that would cause you any physical pain, get yourself someone to help you walk through a difficult situation where all of these low emotions and these low forms that can make us respond in a way that we would want to estrange from another. We want to make sure that we just do our best to walk through it and make a way for somebody to learn. If they want to stay stuck and they want to estrange, that's their choice. But also make a way for yourself to learn and others to learn. So I hope this message has really given you something to do. First, it will give you something to do. You have 2 books to read, and then start journaling on your own journey. And to all you moms out there, when you meet another mom like me, I hope you'll be good to them. I promise to be good to your mom and all you daughters out there that I know that are in my life. Thank you for being in my life. And all of you daughters out there, I hope you're good to my daughter and just come alongside of each other and include one another with love and peace and bring joy to each other in any situation. Learning to become at peace with the past, enjoying the past, present, and being hopeful for the future. That's also part of humanity. So, peace be upon all of you. Thank you.